What's happening, everybody? Here we are, another Thursday night on the grind. Whew, damn, 4.5, almost 5 years of this stuff. Every week, every Thursday night. I miss a couple here and there, but every Thursday night, here we are to discuss this industry of ours. Hold on, I gotta take my wallet out. Let's go on and get with our advertisers real quick. First up tonight is Hopkins Design, hopkinsdesign.com. Anything social media, anything web hosting, print, advertising, business cards, pamphlets. What's up, Uncle Bruno? For trade shows, drone footage, anything like that you possibly need, you need to reach out to Earl Hopkins at hopkinsdesign.com and let him know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine, established in 2019. Urban Rides Magazine filled the void after a couple of the other guys went out of business. You can go online to urbanridesmagazine.com. You can hit them up on Facebook at Urban Rides Magazine on Facebook. They do digital subscriptions and they do print subscriptions. But whatever you do, get over there, get you a subscription, and let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, good friends over at J&D Custom Polishing and Plating. As you can see, they do everything. Read it on the screen with me. They plate copper, nickel, chrome, silver, 24 karat gold. They do dent removal, straightening, and polishing of stainless steel and aluminum trim. Zinc, die cast, pot metal, repair, and restoration is their specialty. Over 60 years of experience in the custom polishing and plating world, you need to get with them. Check them out at J&D Custom Polishing and Plating on Facebook and let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Stellar Customs, stellarcustoms.com. When you need a touring model, street glide, road glide, doesn't matter, a touring model, windshield, get carbon fiber, get the best the money can buy, hit them up at stellarcustoms.com, get you some stuff, and let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Another great magazine up in Indiana and Northern Illinois. I know they got some in Florida and other states and stuff, but go check them out at Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine on Facebook and let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, American Drag Seats, AmericanDragSeats.com. We offer every style of Harley Davidson practically out there from the 80s all the way to current. You need a cool custom seat for your Harley, get with us, AmericanDragSeats.com, and get one of our cool custom low profile badass seats, solo seats, pillion pads, 2-up seats, touring comfort seats. We got them all. We also do custom upholstery. We do custom shaping. So if you got a pan, send it to us. We can shape up your foam, give you a cool cover, and we offer the integrated airbag systems that go inside the seat for that extra comfort. Check us out at AmericanDragSeats.com or on Facebook at American Drag Seats /Attitude Inc. Or you can hit us up on Instagram at American Drag Seats on Instagram. Next up, definitely good friends over at Hell Speed Shop, hellspeedshop.com. Go check them out. Find the grind banner, click it. You will receive a little bit off. Can't tell you how much, but I will say you will get a discount. They have some of the most badass flannel shirts you got out there, t-shirts, hats. I mean, they've got all kinds of cool stuff over there. Go to hellspeedshop.com, check them out, order you something, and tell them Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, Legacy Bike Works right here in Manville, Texas. Legacy Bike Works, where we take pride in what we do, how we do it, and having that extra touch with customer service. Anything from mild to wild, restorations, full builds, you name it, we do it. Legacy Bike Works on Facebook and Legacy Bike Works right here in Manville, Texas. So let me go on and give my shout outs to everybody. What's up, Uncle Bruno, Mr. Timothy Skates? What's up, Mr. William Cole? Robert Davis is in the house. Mr. Alex Toth, always good to see you. Mr. William Cole again. Patrick Price is in the house. Mrs. Janice Juband's in the house. My brother Mike Crane's in the house. Let's see who else we got up here. Mr. David Miller's in the house, man. I appreciate you guys. So let me go on and address the elephant in the room real quick before we get on to the topic of what we're discussing. So it was a bomb was dropped today that apparently Mr. Randy Akers is having some legal issues right this minute. I know with the charges that are, pending on him. It's real easy for everybody to jump on that train and just, rip him a new ass and everything. But I'm going to say this, people. Try not to jump to any conclusions yet. Let the proceedings, let everything happen before you shit can this guy. I'm not defending him at all. I'm not in his corner at all. If any of this stuff comes out to be true, uh, he's a piece of shit to me. But if it's not true, and it turns out that he's an innocent man, these allegations will have ruined his life. So I'll say this because I went to church tonight. Judge not, least ye be judged. Try to keep an open mind about what's going on. And, if it turns out he's a bad guy, believe you me, he is going to get what he deserves. But if he's not guilty, unfortunately, he's going to get a lot of stuff he doesn't deserve. But anyway, let's hold off on judgment too quickly. Let's let everything play out and see what happens, is all I'm saying. No bond, guilty as fuck, sick bastard. Other charges stemmed back from 2013. Get it, got it, understand it. I'm just saying, let's rise above it for right now and wait and see what happens. That's all I'm saying. I'm not defending. All I'm saying is let's just wait and see what happens. That's all I'm saying. So tonight's topic is something I've discussed before. And the reason I'm discussing this topic tonight is because, man, it weighs heavy on my heart every single day I'm in this industry. Mr. Ricky Will, everybody knows Ricky Will from Team Money Cycles, made a post this past week. And I'm going to read you guys the post, and then I'm going to get into what I want to discuss with it. Let me tell you, if I start getting into this discussion tonight and there is somebody in this industry that actually wants to discuss it like adults, man, just post up in the comments that you want to come live with me. I will send you a link and you can go live with me to discuss this. But anyway, let me go on and read this. This was from Ricky Will this past week. Ricky posted, "So I get some pretty interesting phone calls and messages regarding topics and concerns in regards to the motorcycle audio industry. Most times I elect to offer my fairest opinion and ideas behind closed doors. If I can't offer a solution fueled with rational thinking, I remain silent. This particular topic often arises customer/shop relationships. Are shops being fair? Are customers being realistic? Quality of work, customers paying on time. Is there an industry standard on work being performed? I tend to steer away from this because it can be a very messy web. However, is now the time to talk about it? Is this something that can be discussed in an open setting with respect and decorum in hopes of getting some solutions? Can we potentially get some or set some industry standards?" Okay, so when it comes to custom motorcycles, it doesn't matter what you're doing to customize your bike, you're doing it. And unless you do that work yourself, you are taking a chance, gambling that a shop will be able to do the work for you and do it for a fair price, but do the quality of work you expect. That's what you expect. But sometimes in this industry, there are people that have the passion but don't have the knowledge. Sometimes there are people that have the knowledge but don't have the passion. What I mean by that is, if it's too noisy, I've got a fan blowing on me. This Texas heat's killing my air conditioning system, and it's hot as shit up here. Just let me know in the comments if it's too noisy. I'll turn the fan off and just sweat in front of you guys. But anyway, what I was saying is that when you have a custom bike and you take it to a shop to get work on, sometimes the shop you're taking it to is new. Okay, cool. You can't hear the fan. That's awesome. Sometimes the shop you take it to has a reputation for being the best. Sometimes the shop doesn't have a reputation yet because they're new. Sometimes it's people that have been out there for a while, have gotten lucky, built a couple of bikes, and or should I say assembled a couple of bikes, and when it comes right down to the meat and potatoes of it, they still don't know what they're doing. My point to tonight is I know almost all of the major bagger shops, bagger builders, audio shops. I know most of them coast to coast. I know most of the chopper builders, most of them. I don't know all of them, but I do know a lot of them. My whole point is this: if you own a custom shop, did you go to Harley Davidson? Did you go to Honda? Did you go to Kawasaki, Suzuki, BMW, whoever? If you work on those models of bike, did you take the time to go to college or their trade schools and get certified by that manufacturer to work on their bike? If you're a welder, did you take the time to get an education in welding and become a certified welder? If you do audio installations, did you take the time, go to the classes that are available out there? A couple of them in Arizona going on in California. Did you take the time to go get certified in audio? Um, Most all of the builders I know have never discussed the technical side of what they do. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm actually a certified welder. I had to be because I work in the petrochemical industry. Okay. Um, the other thing about being a certified welder is you end up working with other contractors that do metallurgy. Okay, they have equipment that if you have a piece of metal and you don't know what that metal is, they have a piece of equipment that will tell you exactly what that metal is, so that when you're welding it, you know exactly how to weld it and what medium to use to weld the metals. Um, the reason I bring this up is because I see a lot of hating and bashing on Facebook, and just like this post with Ricky Will, when you discuss welding someone's frame, like doing a weld-on net kit, a lot of guys don't even have a frame jig to make damn sure it's true when you weld it. Now, does that mean they can't weld? Does that mean they're not doing it right? Well, it's six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. If they've had great success with it, that's awesome. But there's always that possibility that when you go to start welding something, that if you don't weld it properly, it has no structural integrity. I've made the case before that when you choose to be the guy that does welding necks, you need to have insurance for that. Because if a customer says, you cut my frame and you weld it in a neck, and that customer goes out and gets in a wreck because your neck failed, man, you are in for a world of shit, because they're going to come directly after you and you have to cover your bases. So, even being a certified welder, such as myself, I am not a certified Harley technician. I'm not going to go to school. It is a flat table and a true laser. Well, that could be true, Brian Barber, but I'm going to the technical side of this because they're talking about how some shops do, some shops don't, customer service, the audio side of it, all these things. I've seen guys welding frames in jigs with no rosette welds, so it doesn't matter what tools you have if you don't know what you're doing. See, Nick, I would agree with you 1,000%. But here's the difference. So let's say you have a guy that's been working on bikes. He was born and raised in the bike industry. His father, his grandfather, even his great grandfather all worked on bikes. They all welded. They all did all this type of stuff. And this kid grew up in this industry, and he really knows his stuff. He really knows what he's doing. Never went to a school. He was never, formally taught, but because he was raised in it, he had a head start. So his entire life has been in bikes. Then you take another guy that's only been doing it for maybe a year or two, and he just does it for himself, does it on the weekends, builds some really high quality, cool looking stuff. Which one of those two guys is the better shop? The guy that doesn't have any experience other than maybe doing his own stuff, or the guy that's been it was born and raised in it but has no certifications whatsoever for anything. The reason I'm telling you guys this is because this industry has gotten so shitty over the last 4.5, 5 years. And this is all from my perspective. So if you don't like my perspective, don't watch the show. But what I'm going to say is I've sat back and I have sat here and watched how people treat each other on a daily basis. I'll give you a good example. Me and my son own Legacy Bike Works. Technically, my son owns it, and I work for my son. We're brand new as far as a title of a company, but I've been working on building, fabricating for the last at least 35 years of my life. I started fabricating shit when I was in high school. I'm fixing to be 54 years old. I didn't get certified as a welder until 2009, but I had been welding for 10 or 15 years before that. But I got certified. It was part of the program where I wanted to be. I'm the type of guy that if I don't know something, I'm going to reach out to people that know something. What I have slowly figured out in this industry is there are good people and there are bad people. Good people will always just be good people. You know, when you reach out to somebody and you tell them, hey, I'm having an issue with this, will you help me? You're going to find out with a quickness how good or how bad that person is for you. No, I wasn't in my early 20s in high school, you ding dong. I graduated high school at 19, and the year was 1989. I'm fixing to be 54. So, anyway, Scott, leave me alone, Scott. Anyway, my point is that when you have the passion to do something and you do it long enough in your garage for yourself, eventually your friends are going to watch. Eventually someone's going to see what you're doing. I mean, that's exactly how I got into the motorcycle seat industry, is because I did my dad's motorcycle seat. I was not good at it. I was not proficient at it. I mean, there was nothing about it that was easy, and it damn sure didn't look good. Well, you can laugh, Scott, but if I told you why I was held back, you probably wouldn't be laughing that fucking hard. I'm just picking on you, Scott. But yeah, I was held back, but for a very fucked up reason. Anyway, my whole point is that when you do these things and you have the passion to want to do something, you're going to do it in spite of what everybody else says, what everybody else thinks, and you're literally going to have to pay your dues. When I say pay your dues, I did my dad's motorcycle seat, my own father. I had to do it 3 freaking times because he's like, nope, that looks like shit. Nope, that looks like, and that's my dad. Even though my dad was proud of me for doing what I was doing and getting out there and trying to do it, he wouldn't accept it until he thought it was good enough for him. And I still have that seat. It's sitting 15 feet from me right now. And that seat was done in 2004. Fast forward, I just keep doing what I'm doing and doing what I'm doing for myself and things like that. But what I'm starting to come across is people that you assume are your friends, people that you assume are in your corner, they're not. They're not. Some of the people that give you shit are the people that are actually in your corner. Some of the people that cater to you and suck up to you and just, oh, everything you do is flawless. Some of those people are not your friends. And the funny thing is it takes something to happen to you before you find out who your real friends are. Now, don't get it twisted. When you start out and you put money into something and you want to, thank you, Carlos, when you put money into something because you want to open a shop, there are going to be a lot of shops out there that'll talk shit, but there's also going to be a lot of shops out there that are going to offer your help, offer you the fact, hey, we will help you. We will help you get where you want to be because they want you to spend money with their company. And you can't get mad at them for that because that's industry. That's what you want to do. So when Ricky Will made this post earlier this week, it got my attention because me and Devin are experiencing this shit right now. We are finding out who are the people that are truly in support of Legacy Bike Works, and who are the people that are just fucking hating on it because they don't want us to do that. They don't want us to be in the bike industry. They don't want us to do that. They want me to stay in this little box where I do this show every Thursday night. They don't want to actually see me succeed building bikes or doing audio or things of that nature. Then you've got another group of people that want to see that want to see us progress, want to see us do good, but maybe sometimes they get tired of the phone calls. It's the reason Ricky said this was a slippery slope is because it almost sounds like you're ungrateful for the people that want to help you, and you're also ungrateful for the people that you're starting to realize aren't there to support you at all. You're starting to see these things. What's up, Scotty? You're starting to see how people actually treat you in this industry. Then on top of that, you throw in your customers, and then you have customers that come in and they're like, man, I heard that bike that y'all did a stereo on, and man, I want you to do mine. But they want to bring you equipment. They want to discuss a budget, but they want what you've got. And when you tell them, hey, look, I have a 6-speaker bike with 3 or 4 amps, a DSP, all these different things, and then you throw out a $9 or $10 or $12,000 quote for 6 speakers, they kind of lose their mind. But you got to understand, if you want what I've got, then you have to get what I've got. And you either have to buy those parts, or we have to buy those parts. We have to do the research to put these things together to get you the quality you're looking for. Then they start talking about, well, I'll just go buy my own equipment. And you're like, well, I can't do that. We can't install your equipment because we can't warranty it. We don't know where it came from. We don't know what it's capable of. We can read the box all day long, but there's a reason that certain people, and I'm not going to say anybody's name this time, but there's a reason certain shops refuse to sell equipment over the counter, and they also refuse to put in equipment that you bring to them. There's a reason they're that way, and I'll tell you what one of the main reasons is. Say we have a Joe Schmo brings us his bike and he's like, hey, dude, I've got 2 6.5s, I've got 2 8s, and I got 2 tweeters and this amp. Will you put that in for me? Well, yeah, I'll put that in for you, man. It's going to cost you, I don't know, say 12 hours of labor to install everything. And then it's going to cost you another $200 to $400 to tune your system when I'm done. So, you're looking at probably $1,500, $1,600. Even if I install your equipment. Well, wait a minute. Why is that labor so high? Well, the reason that labor is so high is because I'm going to spend all this time. And the first issue you have with your equipment, you're going to be bitching at me, telling me, well, man, you didn't tune it right. Or you didn't, that was brand new equipment. Why did it blow? Why is it not working? And you're going to want me to replace that equipment. Well, I hate to tell you, but that's why most of the recognizable shops in this industry that actually are recognizable with a name of quality, they will tell a customer straight up, if they don't have it posted on the wall in their shops, that we do not install your equipment. We won't do it because it's a no-win situation for everybody. So when you do that, it's happened before. The thing has happened before where someone tried to help somebody and they got burned. That's why we don't do it. That's why we don't do it anymore. We've done it and it's bitten us in our ass, and now we refuse to do it. It doesn't matter if it costs us the job or it doesn't cost us the job. If you're going to come to this shop and you're going to get work done, you're going to buy the equipment and the parts from us. And if you don't want to, we will politely and very happily refer you to some other shops, and then you can go to those shops and give them all your headaches because we already can see the writing on the wall with that. Next thing, I don't care how long you've been in this industry. If you claim to be the best and you never fuck up, I'm going to call you a flat ass liar to your face. There is nobody in this industry, whether they build frames, whether they build motors, whether they build custom bikes, do fucking fiberglass work, do stereo system. There is nobody in this industry that knows everything. And if you are the guy that you think you know everything, I promise you, man, if I tap your telephone lines, I'm going to hear you call somebody and say, hey, man, you ever experienced this before? I've never experienced this. Can you help me out? Well, you wouldn't be making that phone call if you knew everything. What's up, Mr. Jeremy Valentine? Um, so when a small shop reaches out to a big shop and says, hey, man, I see you guys online. I love what you're building. I see what's going on. Is there any way you could help me out with this? I've got an issue. Don't be a dick. Don't be the guy that's like, nah, man, we don't help no shops. Nobody helped us. Man, look at it like this. The knowledge you pass on to that guy, you could be helping start up the next Jesse James, or start up the next Indian Larry, or the next Billy Lane, or the next Eddie Trotta, Matt Hodge, Joe Martin. You could be the guy that's actually helping that dude get started. But if you're the dude that's like, nah, man, I ain't helping you, you man, fuck, figure it out on your own. That's just bullshit. It's just a shitty thing to do or say. Anybody that calls me, and I'm telling you, you've seen it on my show. If you've watched this show for the last 4.5 years, you have heard me say it time and time and again. If I have some knowledge you need, I will help you. I'm just not a dick like that. I enjoy helping people figure things out. If I don't know what the answer is, I promise you, I know somebody that's dealt with it before that knows the answer, and we'll work together. We'll get it figured out. You know, that's the person I want to be. Whether it's audio, whether it's welding, whether it doesn't matter what it is. I don't know how to do paint. I don't know how to do body work. And believe you me, my friends give me shit because I don't know how to do body work. And I don't care. I don't care if they give me shit because it's a skill set I don't have. If I wanted that skill set, I could go out and I could get that skill set because there's a community college right here that teaches automotive paint and body. You've got UTI on the north side of town, Universal Technical Institute. I can go there and learn almost anything, whether it's diesel mechanics, hot rods, anything I want to do. I can learn that. There is a place for me to get an education to go learn that. And then I can come back and be the asshole and say, I'm not helping you, man. Nobody helped me. I hate it when people say that, because think about the group of people you'd have around you if you were nice, if you actually took the time out of your day to actually help somebody else succeed. I remember not too long ago, there was a guy out there, and I'm not going to say his name, but he was just starting out and he was so happy to meet me and so good. I could tell you that guy's name now, and the guy's killing it now. The guy's killing it. I'd like to believe that some of our conversations helped him. Some of the other people he met and some of the other people he dealt with, it helped him because nobody can do this shit on their own. And just like Ricky said, it's a slippery slope when you get into this shit because you don't know who your true friends are and you don't know who the fucking haters are. You just don't know how to trust people anymore because you don't know what person you're getting. Because you might get Kevin on the grind, you might get Kevin the motorcycle seat guy, you might get Kevin the chemical plant guy. I mean, there's a lot to me. Which person do you need? You might get the guy that loves to talk business, the guy that can sit there and really get down to the meat and potatoes of, hey, man, if you're going to start a business, man, your checks, your balances, at the end of the day, everything costs. At the end of the day, everything should be able to make you money, even your time. I love discussing those things, but I've always prided myself in being the kind of guy that was A, nice, B, always willing to help you. And there's sometimes I can't help you. I really can't. Either I'm stressed for time, I can't do it for the price that you want me to do it for, things of that nature. And then all I can do is be honest with you, be nice to you, and say, hey, look, I'm not going to be able to do it for that. I can't help you. I think there's a shop over here that might be able to help you. I'm not 100% sure. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of the silence today on Facebook. We already discussed that, Brian. If you got here on time, you'd have heard it. Time is huge. I think he's referenced you. He is referencing me. Start doing good and everyone stabs you in the back. No one wants to see you win. That's very true, Ryan. Make money, not friends. Nah, I want to make them both. Uh, Old school versus new school. Hold on, I want to read some of these comments real quick. I've always been understanding installing custom supplied parts is always a bad practice. Insurance liabilities, warrantability issues, most importantly, that markup you place on the part that buffers mistakes is not there. Well, yeah. You didn't know how to build a fucking bike until you decided you wanted to learn it on your own. God damn, Mike, you mad? Uh, Jesus Christ, what happened? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did I miss something in the comments? Holy shit. Hold on, let me read some of these comments, dude. Hold on. Yeah, we discussed that. We discussed that. Black and blue and what? Yeah, all right. No bond guilty. Okay, very well said. It's not cool to actually wait and learn facts before burying someone. It's much more cool to just assume and bury them. When's the pig going on the pit? Yeah, a couple weekends. Oh my god. Okay, that's what he said. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, all right. So we'll get back to this. So the other part of this is that you have, and I know there's more. So don't critique me, all you keyboard warriors out there. You have about 4 or 5. Well, let me go a little bit. Yeah, let's say you got 10. You've got 10 industry professionals in the audio game. Now, I know there's more. I know that. But when I say these 10, I mean these are the 10 that are in the limelight that everybody knows, that everybody goes to, that everybody, wants to discuss things with. You have these guys and they all have an opinion. And the funny thing is that almost all of them have a different opinion on how the stereo competition should go, what the classes should be, what equipment should be allowed to be used, and what equipment shouldn't be used. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, whether I'm right or wrong, I don't really care. This KB Creation sound competition is, I don't see the date. Let me look. Let me look. I don't see the date. Yeah, nope, I don't see the date. But look at their speaker classes. Registrations from 1 to 3. This competition starts at 3. $20 entry fee. They have a 4-speaker class, 6-speaker, 8, 10, 12, 13, and up. $20 grudge matches after the class. It's a King of the Hill situation. There's the date right there. I can't even, September 16th, 1 to 5. It's at 2109 Simpkins Road, Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, in my personal opinion, they're doing it at King of the Hill. He's going to take all the 4-speaker bikes, roll 2 in, compete, loser rolls out, winner rolls in, whatever, whatever, whatever. I like that format. That format seems good to me. The reason that format seems good to me, yeah, Scotty, you got to be watching the show from the grind page if you want to get in on all the comments and see all the actual viewers, because my screen's showing almost 60 viewers, but whatever. Uh, my whole point is that you can get to a point where it's so technical that there's just it almost takes the fun out of it, in my opinion. But you're always going to have these 10 industry professionals always talking about wanting to get a standardized platform so that it's the same thing throughout the whole country. The bad thing is you're probably never going to get that, because if you could get all 10 people in the same exact room for the same exact show, you would probably get it. But you can't get all 10 of these people in the same place at the same time every single event of every single year. So you're going to have these break-offs and these differences and things of that nature. All I can say is if you're from the East Coast, do it the East Coast way. If you're from the West Coast, do it the West Coast way. If you're from the Third Coast, do it the Third Coast way. And for those of you guys that don't know what the Third Coast is the armpit, Galveston, Texas. There you go, from Mississippi all the way down to Mexico. That's the Third Coast. There you go. But anyway, how about a no class? Well, so it's technically not fair to the mid bass 6-speaker class and the 6 speakers with subs. Okay. But if you don't like the rules, simply don't go to the show. You're exactly right, Ryan, when you say that. Technically, it's not fair to put a 6-speaker with a mid bass against a 6-speaker with a sub. But I'll tell you what, some of these speakers are so freaking good nowadays that it's kind of hard sometimes if the system is built right, the bags are built right, the ports are built right, this, that, and the other. It's hard to tell the difference between a 6-speaker 10-inch mid bass and a 6-speaker 10-inch sub. And I know that for a fact because that's one of the things I do. I'm a very, very big fan of the audio shows. Not the technical guy. I'm not going to claim to be that guy, but I am the guy that goes to the shows and listens. And I like hearing it. I like the way the bikes sound. I've been to a couple of shows where the industry guys that are judging the bikes are like, man, that bike's badass. That's the one. And I'm thinking, man, that thing didn't even have any bass in it. The bike beside him that you just said he beat had bass. Well, this bike was just clearer. Well, that bike over there was just as clear, and it had all the mids, the highs, the lows, the bass. It had everything, but they're looking at it from a technical standpoint. So they're hearing something maybe my untrained ears can't hear. That's why I don't claim, I don't judge. I just spectate. I'm a spectator. But I will say this: somebody in these freaking stereo competitions should learn how to market them. Because I'll tell you what, one thing I would do is market them and make money off of the competitors. Billy Lane did a video the other day, and no, I didn't watch the whole goddamn thing, but Brian Barber told me what he said. And he said, you're never going to have the rock star builders nowadays like you used to have because of social media. Because everybody's dropping a new build every other day. So you don't have to go to a show to see this badass build. You can see it on Instagram. You can see it on Facebook. You can see it on Twitter. I mean, for some of you guys that use LinkedIn, you can see it on LinkedIn. But the reality is that none of the big builders are ever going to be rock stars until they fucking start acting like it. And part of acting like it is your presence on social media. Every time I've been around Mr. John Shope, people actually want to take pictures with John. People want an autograph from John. I've seen it happen. When I look at John, I don't want a picture with John. I don't want an autograph from John, but I can see the appeal. I can see where John lives a rock star life, and he does so even on his social media. I feel that way about a lot of the builders nowadays. I feel like people like Scott Owens and Joey Hensley, that if promoted correctly at a rally, they could be the guys that are sitting there signing autographs and taking pictures. But there's no promotion of that. And I'm getting off topic. The reason I'm getting off topic about that is because when you hear things that are being done in the industry, it almost makes me laugh because, well, Jason, back in the good old days and the Easy Rider shows. Okay, Jason Leese, do you fully understand what you just said? Back in the Easy Rider shows in the good old days, those things were promoted as such. And if you try to tell me, well, they didn't have social media. So, well, okay, well, then how did they advertise it? In the magazines. Okay, they advertised it in the magazines. The magazines were the social media. You had to buy the magazines to know where these builders were going to be. Unless the show promoters promoted it on the radios and in the local magazines and newspapers and things that days. Joe, choppers haven't gone anywhere. They're just here. They're still here. And I get their presence isn't quite as loud because you're not. I wish I had more money. I really do. I wish I had more money to be able to put on a show. And I can almost promise you guys, if I had the right amount of money and I could promote the show, I could turn some of you guys into fucking rock stars. And I could almost promise you that people would be getting in line to get your autograph and take a picture with you like they used to do. Bad thing is that, man, everybody wants instant gratification because of the internet. Just like OnlyFans, for all these freaking women out there, and don't, I'm not trying to be an ass when I say this, but a woman wants to be treated like a lady, but she's going to put herself on OnlyFans like a whore. I'm sorry, it's two different formats. You can't do that and then be expected to be treated with respect when you don't even respect yourself. How much money do you need, Kevin Sockwell? Scotty Roberts, if you're fucking serious, call me after the show. I promise you. My whole point is that there are guys out there that just on social media, they already have that following. They already have that set up. Well, there's other guys out there. If you promote the group, if you promote it correctly, you can get this industry back to fuck you, Dave Voss. What's your subscription price? What's your subscription price? But my whole point is that when Billy said that, you promise I have people wanting my autograph? Talk to me after the show, Scotty, and I will explain it to you. And if you disagree with me, tell me. Now, I don't think that'll ever fucking work because I can almost promise you it would. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. So you're in a position, you have a shop, you have the talent, you have the drive, you have the discipline, you have everything going for you. And you're starting to make waves in the industry. He said, touchy conversation. My whole point is that even the best still need help. Who do the best call when they need help? They call the other guys that are the best, that are their friends, that they consider their equals. What about the little shops? The little shops that are just starting. I'm subscribed to Brian Barber's OnlyFans. It's just a daily picture of him naked eating Cheetos. Worth it. They will stand in line for both of us. See, Tim Skates gets it. Yeah, okay. Oh, we have AC in the shop now. Oh yeah. So anyway, my whole point is that when you continually see a problem in an industry, it can be fixed. But it's that dude that has to fix it. And who is that dude? The dude is the guy you look at in the mirror every day you get up from bed and you get ready to go to work. That dude's the guy you look at before you go to bed. I mean, are you thankful for what you're doing? Are you wanting to pass it on and make this industry better? If you're not wanting to make the industry better, then why are you doing it? If you're doing it just because you want to be better, then good for you. But just remember, dude, you ain't going to be here forever. That's why I'm putting so much of my own personal money and my own personal time and my own personal effort into my son's shop, is because he's going to be here for a while unless he doesn't want to be. But it's not going to be because we didn't set it up to be that way. I want to set it back up so that he can have future success. I also want to teach him, hey, look for these types of people. These types of people are not your friends. I can tell you, man, and I'm saying it on a live format here. There's not very many people watching, only about 50 people watching. But I'll tell you this. I was told something when I was much younger, and I couldn't appreciate it then. But the older I got, the more experience I got with just life, not in anything in particular. I started realizing it's the truest statement you could ever fucking make. And that is, if you let people talk enough, they're going to tell you everything you need to know. All you have to do is just listen. You just have to listen to somebody talk. They're going to tell you what you want to know. There are people out there that no matter how hard you hit them, how hard you knock them down, they're going to keep getting up. They're just going to do it. It's in them. It's built inside of them to do that. There are other people that, man, may have the most talent in the world, but they have no oomph, no gumption about them, and they get knocked down one time and they're done. This is too hard. I don't want to do this. This was supposed to be easier than this. This wasn't supposed to be this way. Well, guess what? You know, it's weeding out the ones that don't need to be here, the ones that don't want to be here. It's weeding them out. Tough times make tough men. That's just life. That's the way it is. You know, if you look at everything that happens in your bike shop, your paint shop, your stereo shop, and you look at even all the bad shit that happens, and you look at it like, man, what can I learn from this? And you really get outside your fucking head, get outside of your ego, get outside of your pride, sit back and think, okay, this is a fucked up situation right now that I'm in. What is the silver lining? What is the good I can take from this right now? Because I promise you, every bad situation offers up something good. I'm serious, every one of them. You know, I literally have had to shut my mouth so many times in my life because somebody else was talking. And even though I wanted to tell them something, I just sat back long enough and I just let them talk and let them literally, what I call, sink a boat. They just talked long enough until I was like, cool, I am so glad I didn't respond to you. I let you keep talking, and now I know who you are, and I'm going to be going that way. I don't need to be a part of this situation anymore because you're not really who I need in my life. I need the people that are actually going to support, provide, lift up, help pick me up. I don't need the people that are going to help put me down. I don't need the people that are going to help keep me down. I don't need the people that, well, I don't have time for you. If you don't have time for me, then I'm not going to have time for you. But I'm not going to get mad at you about it. I'm going to say thank you for giving me the education you just gave me. You saved me a lot of heartache because if I was going to invest my time into you, you would have eventually disappointed me or hurt me. So thank you for the education. But then you're also going to get people that you instantaneously click with. Things are going to go good, and they're going to be in your corner. They're going to help you. They're not going to make fun of you. They're going to help you. Think about the concept. Think about this concept. Let's say you've been doing something and you just got tired of doing it. You're just like, oh, I'm fucking tired of this shit. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it. And you just stop. But you were really good at what you did, but you just got tired of it. You just got tired of the bullshit. You got tired of the, you know, the haters. You got tired of just everything. Your buddy comes up to you and your buddy says, you know what? You're a piece of shit. Fuck you. You need to leave. You got that shitty attitude. You know, yeah, you used to be good, but you know what? Fuck you. Get the hell out of here. You literally would feed off of that and you would leave. You'd be done. You'd be over with. Say this. Say your buddy didn't do that. Say you told your buddy, man, I'm tired. I don't have anything else to give to this game. I'm done. Now let's say that same buddy, instead of being a dick to you, actually said, you know what, man, I get it. I get how you're tired, but you're so good at what you do that you're in demand. And I can see where people have taken advantage of you and your kindness and things like that. I could see where you would want to stop, but I think you'd be doing a disservice to yourself. I think you have a lot more to learn. I think you have the potential to be the best there ever was. I think you have the ability to really make a mark in this industry. What do you think you're going to do when the second guy talks to you? You think you're going to say fuck it and leave? Or you think you might think about it? You might sit back and evaluate it before you just Get rid of everything. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I will never, ever be the guy that will tell you how shitty of a person you are until you have given me no choice but to tell you you're a shitty human being. I will give you every opportunity and I will build you up. I will help lift you up. I will bend over backwards and help get you off the ground if you're having a bad day until you push me in the other direction. There are so many things in this world right now, people, whether it's stereo systems on motorcycles, whether it's paint jobs, whether it's motorcycle seats, whether it's building custom bikes, it doesn't matter what it is. Industry, just straight up industry. There's so much shit going on right now. And it's, you know why? It's because so many people are so insecure and so afraid that somebody else is better than them, that someone might get a little more attention than them. When in reality, man, you know, it's one thing to want the admiration and respect of your peers. That's a normal thing, is to want your peers to accept you and, you know, dig what you're doing. But you got to have the foundation, and the foundation is, do you really want to do this? Because I'll tell you what, if somebody called me up and said, hey dude, you know, I heard your show last night, I really appreciate that. um I was literally at the end of my rope with doing this bike shit because there's so many haters. But after hearing your show last night, I appreciate it. Put a little bit more wind under my sails. I'm gonna see if I can't get going a little bit. uh I would tell them, you know, at some point in your life, you got to decide who are your friends and who are the people that are just using you. It's hard. I get it. And sometimes you got to let people go simply because they're, it's like they're not filling up your gas tank. They're using all the gas in your car, but they're not helping you fill that gas tank up to keep on moving forward. Uh, you got to, you got to read, you got to let them talk. You got to let them prove who they are. Because there's people I've gotten mad on this, you know, that are watching the show right now. I've gotten mad at, but I never stop caring for them and I never stop supporting them. They just piss me off, but I still support them and I'll still help them in any fucking thing I can possibly do, unless they just don't want my help. And that's okay. That's cool. If you don't want my help, I just let you know you have a resource. That's all I'm doing. Just a tool you can put in your toolbox. That's all I'm offering. Um, I have to read all the comments because I don't understand. I'm one of those guys, laugh out loud. Um, but yeah, Scotty is one of those guys. But I love seeing people succeed. That's all I'm saying, man. And you know, at the end of the day, if you're not willing to help another shop without cutting them down and, you know, pissing all over them, man, you may want to just step back. You know, you may want to step back and reevaluate why the fuck you're doing it. Because I'll tell you what, there are a lot of people out there, I'm serious when I say it, that do some shitty wiring jobs. Shitty. He said, I told it was me. But you know, I love you now, Scotty. Never changed. We had our moment. We got past it. Just makes us more solid. Uh, but my point is if goddamn it, Scotty, you got me off topic, motherfucker. Shit. But yeah, Scotty, it was you. You pissed me off. I'm sure I pissed you off, but it didn't kill our relationship. I like to think it made it a little bit stronger. Uh, anyway, I'm at this point in the conversation, I'm just sitting here blabbing about the same topic. Topic is this: quit being dicks. Quit being dicks to each other. Start supporting each other. And I promise you, man, it will come back to you. It will always come back to you. You may not know when and you may not know how, but kindness is returned. And we all need that shit right now, especially in this goddamn industry. And as far as the stereo competitions, it doesn't matter. I like the way Keith Barker is doing his setup. I don't even know where it went. There it is, right there. I like this. I like this setup. That to me is good. Uh, the way he put it out there and said it, I dig that. That I can get down with that. Whether it's Fuck you in the neck. You can't put me down with my own fucking sayings, Brian. You got to come up with your own. Better to be pissed off than pissed on unless you're into that thing. Well, there is a thing called golden showers, and it's fucked up that I even know what that is. I was traumatized as a kid. I got stung by a jellyfish. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching, man. Uh, yeah, that's true, Dwayne. Good model. The real ones don't count favors. That's right. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching the show, supporting me. Get over to the YouTube channel, the Grind Biker Build Off on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notifications, and let's just keep doing this, man. I'm down if you are. Y'all have a great night, man. We'll see you next week.